Resources that support grammar and mechanics instruction typically focus in on the what. They define what the skill is, what the rule is, what it looks like when done incorrectly, and what it looks like when done properly. However, the most important aspect of any conventions mini lesson is the why. As the classroom teacher, include the purpose that the skill serves within your lessons. Explain why a writer would ever use this skill. What's the impact or effect of this skill on their message in writing? We all know students who aren't always invested in learning these convention tools and rules. And I think it's because they're wondering, why do I need to know this? When will I ever use this skill? So let's make a point to add that to our lessons. Different conventions serve different purposes. And so when the classroom teacher is looking to embed this facet into their mini lesson instruction, they need to know, well, what are your options? What are the reasons to use different conventions? Let's look at a list of 10 and the conventions that might fit them. I've compiled a list of 10 common purposes that different conventions serve. And as we look at these first 4, they all simply help convey the basic message to the reader. Some of the most basic conventions simply state information for the reader. When teaching students about singular nouns or plural nouns, we are communicating whether it's about a single item or multiple items. We're simply stating the message. This is also true when teaching verb tense. Accurate verb tense communicates or states the basic message. Other conventions state a particular detail or name of something. They specify something specific, like proper nouns. Or they specify a certain condition, like possessives. The use of the apostrophe specifies who owns the object. While some conventions state information and others specify, skills like prepositional phrases elaborate on the information. They expand on the basic sentence, telling more about the where or the when. A less common purpose, but still one to teach, is the conventions that honor the reader. We value communicating accurately to the reader. For example, the use of the ellipsis when we're omitting certain words from a quotation. These first 4 purposes convey the basic message. The next 4 purposes refine that message. Sometimes the sentence or idea is a little wordy, so we could use certain skills to simplify the sentence. For example, pronouns. They allow the writer to convey information much more quickly and easily. And while some conventions simplify or condense the message, others can help describe it to really communicate exactly what the writer intended. Such a convention that serves the purpose of describing something would be an adjective lesson. We can refine the message by emphasizing things with capitalization. When executing a skill about commas in a series or commas with compound sentences or even the use of semicolons, the purpose for all of those skills is to show connection. These conventions combine, join, and group ideas to show relationships. And this final category of purposes conventions serve is to control the message. The language standards that require students to use a combination of simple, compound, and complex sentences, or just a variety of sentence structures, these are all to serve the purpose of engaging the reader. Such skills add interest and really hold the reader's attention. And a final purpose that conventions serve is to shape the message. They can affect how the sentences sound. These include lessons about parentheses, the ellipsis, the em dash, anything that really shapes the sound of the message. By including the purpose at the beginning of any conventions lesson, then we address the age-old attitude of, why do we have to know this? When are we ever going to use this? That we sometimes hear from our students. By embedding the purpose into our conventions lessons, we're giving our students a reason to master it. When grammar instruction is steeped in the why, then we can move students beyond simply what is this skill to a much deeper application of when, why, and how do I use it.